So for the third wheel spin of the day, we have landed on Aluren. So this is a deck built around the enchantment Aluren. 4 mana green, any player may cast creature spells with mana value 3 or less without paying their mana costs and as though they had flash. So also viable for your opponent to cast stuff, but your deck is built around doing this. Their deck probably isn't. So the idea is you are a value deck that has a bunch of mostly Sultai/Abzan cards, depending on how you build the deck, with a combo payoff when you have Aluren. So the main combo. This deck can play Acererak the Archlich. However, because Acererak is an infinite combo with Aluren, however, it takes about a bajillion clicks on Moto to do that, so we're not doing that on Moto. So the other way, other than Acererak, is to use Cavern Harpy. So this is a blue and black creature, 2/1 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, return a blue or black creature you control to its owner's hand, and you can pay 1 life and return Cavern Harpy to its owner's hand. So you can combine this with, for example, Uro. And then you can just go Uro, escape trigger on the stack, flash in Cavern Harpy, bounce it back to your hand, then bounce Cavern Harpy back to your hand. And even though you're paying 1 life for Cavern Harpy, you're gaining 3 with Uro, so you're netting 2 life at every turn. And you go back and forth with these two and draw your entire deck. And you can also have Orcish Bowmasters as your one of here to combo kill your opponent, because you go Orcish Bowmasters, ping your opponent for 1, then Cavern Harpy come in, you bounce the Orcish Bowmasters back to your hand, then you bounce Cavern Harpy over and over and over. If you have more life than your opponent, you can just kill them that way, or you can use Uro to get more life than your opponent and then kill them that way as well. Other cards in the deck. So we've got Swords to Plowshares to interact, Brainstorm, Ponder, Delighted Halfling. We have a fair number of legendary creatures that we can get in uncounterably, and it just adds more mana. And then we've got a 1-of Collector Oof to fight artifact decks. Then there's Niambi, Esteemed Speaker, is a white and blue 2-mana 2/1 with flash. When it enters the battlefield, you may return another target creature you control to its owner's hand. If you do, you gain life equal to that creature's mana value. So it has the same bounce effect as Cavern Harpy, but it cannot bounce itself, unfortunately. So it is only a one-time use unless you can get it back to your hand. Now you can use Karakas to get it back to your hand, so you can do it twice in a turn, but you have no way of untapping Karakas, so this is limited in how many times you can use it. And then it also has 3 mana tap, discard a legendary card, draw 2 cards. And then also Icefang Codal, and the Codal itself is also yet another blue creature that you can bounce with Cavern Harpy to draw a bunch of cards. You've got Recruiter of the Guard. So Recruiter of the Guard is, of course, a good tutor piece in itself, but it, with Aluren, can also win you the game, because you can Recruiter for Niambi, then you can Niambi bounce Recruiter, then you can Recruiter again and get Cavern Harpy, then you Cavern Harpy, you bounce the Niambi back to your hand, you Niambi again, you bounce Recruiter, you play Recruiter, and then you go find Bowmasters or Icefang Codal, like whatever you need. Recruiter cannot grab Uro, but it can grab all of these other pieces, which should be enough to get you to the point where you can find the last combo piece, or just Bowmasters if you're, again, ahead on life. Then you've got 1 Eternal Witness, which can get back anything, and you can also use Niambi to bounce it to play it again. Teferi Time Raveler, Uro, of course, which, apart from its combo potential, is also just a big threat. You've got Leovold to screw over your opponent's ability to draw extra cards, and it can draw you more cards when your opponent targets your stuff. Then, of course, Aluren, and then we've got Force of Will to interact, Lorien Revealed, cycling, drawing cards, etc., Prismatic Ending as more interaction besides Swords to Plowshares, and Green Sun Zenith for grabbing various green creatures in the deck. Mostly can grab Uro is like the big one, but of course it can also grab Ewit, Collector Oof, and Delighted Halfling, I guess, if you're really desperate, or Icefang Codal. Sideboard, we've got 3 Carpet of Flowers for the blue decks, Spell Pierce, Deafening Silence for Storm, Surgical, and Fairy Macabre, and Endurance for the graveyard, Night of Autumn for more artifact enchantment stuff, Toxic Deluge for creature swarmy decks, and we are a Yorion deck. We don't technically have to be a Yorion deck, but this version is a Yorion deck. And of course, since we're getting a bunch of things that have ETB triggers, we can Yorion, get them all back, play them all again, so it's just like a good late game value engine. Lands, a bunch of lands in the various colors that we need, including Dryad Arbor as a Zenith target, of course, 1 Karakas, Snowlands for Codal, and that is pretty much it. So let's jump into the third league of the day with Aluren. Round 1, we're on the draw. Reveal Yorion. All right, we do have Ponder. We can Prismatic for Island and Ponder, and then get up to this point. This hand's obviously very slow, but as long as we're not playing against, like, a combo deck, I think it's fine. Misty Rainforest. We drew another Snow Forest. All right, so Prismatic, fetch, grab a Snow Island, play Ponder. All right, so I can put Force of Will in my hand in case I need to do anything now, and then I can just fetch across everything else, right? So I should put back, potentially have Flooded Strand second so that I can fetch away Lorien Revealed if I don't want it. Although I probably want it, but I'm also probably just casting Ponder next turn anyway. So let's go this, then Force, then don't shuffle, draw Force, and then pass to them. Just finished watching your Modern Walls stream video. Seeing the Death Shadow player essentially kill themselves with their own dismember was hilarious. I hope to bring you more moments like that on these streams. I'm almost enamored of any game that has, like, ooh, Gaze? So is this Dredge? So should I counter this? No, I'm gonna let it resolve. Yeah, it is Dredge. Grave Troll, Daze, and they kept another card on top. They didn't Dredge. Okay, Careful Study. Well, I'm absolutely countering that. So Force and get rid of Teferi seems pretty freaking worthless in this matchup. So yeah, Force the Careful Study. Oh, they daze us back. All right, well, so be it. So Dredge, Bridge from Below, and they didn't hit a second Dredger, right? Discard 2 Grave Trolls. All right, so and then play another island, or play the island they just bounced, rather. Another draw spell, Brainstorm. Yeah, all right. Dredge. So let's see, they've got Cabal Therapy. Okay, there's one Narcomoeba, Dread Return, second Narcomoeba, and a second Cabal Therapy. That's pretty bad, right? So they can get 2 Narcomoebas into play, and then they can Cabal Therapy us, name whatever, and then they can Cabal Therapy us and name Aluren. How many bridges did they hit? One? Just one? All right, so they're not doing anything right now. We're quite a ways away from being able to do anything. So I can what? I can Prismatic one of them. What does that matter, though? They can still Therapy twice. So they're going to escape. They're going to get Icarid back and then hit us and then Cabal Therapy twice probably. So my only option is what? Ponder and try to get a Cabal Therapy proof hand. I know the next card down's Lorien Revealed, so I want to get rid of that. So let's fetch, grabbing a Tundra. Yeah, grab Tundra, then Ponder. Well, all of that's trash, so let's shuffle. All right, back to them. So they're just going to shred our hand with Therapy. But we're not out of this yet. They dredged another Bridge from Below. We are probably dead now then. So we're going to 12, and then they're going to Therapy twice. So they're going to have 4 zombies and a Narcomoeba in play. So that's 8, 9, 12. We're actually dead next turn. All right. I should just concede here then to conceal information, since we're dead next turn regardless. All right, so obviously Endurance, Fairy Macabre, Surgical. Spell Pierce is probably good too. It counters their Careful Studies and Brainstorms and whatnot. Toxic Deluge is only good if we get to the point in the game where they've, like, bridged a bunch and then we're just dying. Swords is absolutely not useful against them. Neither is Oof. Teferi's pretty weak as well. Bouncing stuff to their hand's not that important, and it's slow. So I think this is all fine. Actually, no, Prismatic's also bad, right? I have a lot to take out, don't I? I guess Teferi's better than Prismatic because it at least draws a card. All right, I'll bring in Deluge. And let's run that. All right, we're on the play. Really, Orion. All right, I think I can keep this. So I can Vista for a color. I can Vista for, like, a forest and play Halfling. And then I can cycle Lorien Revealed. I have Endurance in my hand to stop their graveyard shenanigans. So this hand is keepable. All right, keep. So Vista, fetch, grab a Snow Forest, play Delighted Halfling. Over to them. Misty Rainforest. All right, so we have to cycle this to play a land this turn. So I should probably Zenith for... No, I shouldn't Zenith because I need a green card in my hand for Endurance. So let's cycle Lorien Revealed and let's grab Tundra. Although if I grab Tropical, it means I can hold up a hard cast Endurance next turn if they don't dredge now. I guess it depends. Like, what happens if I draw Recruiter of the Guard? They're probably going to try to go off on turn 2, and I'm going to need to pitch this. So let's grab Tundra. Play Tundra, go to combat, attack with the Halfling. Does every Legacy deck play Green Sun Zenith? I've seen it like every game I've caught from you. It's in a lot of decks, but it's not in all of them. It's just a very good card for green decks. All right, Gaze, resolves. A lot of control piles started running Zenith since they play Beanstalk now, and then every green-based deck plays it because it's a great card. They just put Force of Will in the graveyard. All right, Polluted Delta, Careful Study, discarding Grave Troll, Dread Return, but not doing anything else. I don't actually need to pop this off until I want to hit Bridge from Below or just, like, more things, right? All right, land. I can place Teferi so they can't counter the Endurance. That seems pretty good. So blue, white, legendary, green, cast Teferi. So the cool thing with Endurance is you can stack the trigger so that it dies first, exiling the bridges from below, and then shuffles the rest back. So unfortunately, our opponent lost connection to the game. So let's see if they come back or if, unfortunately, they just like time out and lose. All right, opponent fetches with Delta, Underground Sea, Brainstorm in response. All right, that's fine. So Dredge the Grave Troll, Narc Amoeba, Stinkweed, dredging again. They did hit bridge from below. They hit 2 bridges from below. All right. Well, hopefully this Endurance makes it through a Force of Will. So with that on the stack, I should fetch. Let's see. I'm missing black mana for Toxic Deluge, so let's grab Bayou. And then let's evoke Endurance, exiling Green Sun Zenith. See if this resolves. Nope, they got forced. All right. So then Narc Amoeba, then Teferi. So let's see. They have Icarid, right? Icarid, but they don't have another black creature to exile. So they can't get Icarid back. Did they hit Cabal Therapy? They did. So they can therapy the Narc Amoeba. I could bounce it, and then it forces them to replay it. Oh, did I miss Stinkweed Imp? Oh, yeah. Okay, so they can Icarid. So there's no getting around that. If I plus Teferi to 5, then that leaves them in a situation where they have Narc Amoeba plus Icarid. They attack Teferi. Then they're going to Cabal Therapy and name... I doubt they'll name Toxic Deluge, right? Although they can Dread Return, but they don't really have anything great to Dread Return, right? So I should plus Teferi, and then they go... So I plus Teferi here. They go get Icarid back, attack Teferi, presumably. Teferi goes to 1. Then they go Cabal Therapy, make 2 zombies, name something. If they don't have another Cabal Therapy from off their Dredge, because they're going to Dredge with Grave Troll. Basically, if they Cabal Therapy the Deluge out of my hand, I'd probably just lose, right? So let's plus Teferi and then pass. All right, Icarid. Yeah, so Icarid comes back. Then it's the draw step. Grave Troll gets another Narc Amoeba. Thankfully, they didn't hit a second Cabal Therapy. Cabal Therapy, trigger both of these. Zombie, zombie. What will they name? I will be incredibly impressed if they name Deluge. Brainstorm. All right. Well, they know we have a Deluge now. Ooh, Cephalid Coliseum, so they can dredge some more and try to hit another therapy to get rid of the Deluge. So Narc Amoeba at me, Icarid at Teferi. Teferi goes to 2 counters. We go to 17. Pop Cephalid Coliseum. Well, there's the second therapy. So we lose Toxic Deluge. No. Oh, and they hit all their bridges. Well, unless we draw another Deluge, we're dead. Therapy, name Deluge. We lose it. They have 10 million power on the board. Actually, to be fair, they have 14 plus Icarid. So actually exactly enough to kill us. Oh, they have multiple Icarids, actually. So yeah, we're dead next turn, unless we draw Deluge. Therapy us again. Eat the Teferi out of our hand. All right, let's draw the second copy of Toxic Deluge out of our 68 cards remaining Yorion deck. Nope, we're dead. All right, we got by Dredge. On to round number 2. The only thing I could think that I could have done differently there was Endurance in response to the Brainstorm. The problem is, if you get rid of their Dredgers, then they just have the ability to discard and dredge them again next turn anyway. All right, round 2 on the draw. This hand is obviously slow, but it does have good cards. All right, I'll keep. Delta for our opponent. We drew another land. I should probably Brainstorm on their turn in their upkeep because they can be a Bowmaster deck, so who knows. Opponent fetches, grabs Rogren Triome. All right, upkeep, Brainstorm. I want to have all of these except for another land, I guess. So let's keep... I'm going to need to fetch green, white, and a black. So I'm probably fetching Savannah and Bayou, which means I don't want Vista. So let's put Vista back and then one of the other fetches. All right, Flooded Strand. So yeah, let's go grab a Savannah. So fetch, play Delighted Halfling. And then uncounterable Teferi or uncounterable Leovold are both really good. Fetches an island. Vista. Prismatic Ending or Halfling. All right. Ooh, Aluren. So it's way, way better if Teferi resolves, although it probably won't. Well, let's see. I could also play Halfling and then try again next turn, but it's more mana efficient to do it this way. So let's grab Bayou, play Teferi. It resolved. I'm very surprised. All right, minus draw a card, and over to them. Opponent fetches, grabs a Plains. So it's what? Jeskai Control Comet, rolls and does what? Dealt us a bunch of damage. All right, so plus Teferi. What does this thing do again? Make 2 squirrels with haste. Return something that costs 2 or less to the hand, from grave to hand. Deal X where X is loyalty counters, then -2. I'm surprised they didn't immediately just bolt Teferi then. All right, fetch. So we're going to Aluren now. We just win, right? Cast Aluren. Cast Recruiter of the Guard. Trigger. Search. Need to go grab Niambi. Cast Niambi. Trigger. Bounce this. Then recast Recruiter. Then search for Cavern Harpy. Then cast Cavern Harpy. Bounce Niambi. Does Niambi gain life? Why did I gain life? Oh yeah, it does gain life. Okay. So then cast Niambi and bounce Recruiter. Then cast Recruiter. Use the ability. Go grab Bowmasters. Then cast Bowmasters. Target opponent. Alright, yeah. So they conceded to that. Card is so stupid and the art makes it even dumber. I can't treat this as a real card. I assume you mean in reference to Comet. Alright, so it's Jeskai Control, right? So Spell Pierce, Carpet. So Oof is probably a dead card. They probably have some amount of creature threats, but it's possible that swords should just go. Yeah, I'm just going to cut swords until I see a reason not to. Alright, submit. Reveal Yorion. Only one land, although we do have Green Suns and Brainstorm, but that's pretty risky. If I fetch for an island in Brainstorm and then I don't hit another land, or they counter it, they probably won't counter it, but if I don't hit another land, then we're just locked. Alright, let's mull. Alright, that's better. So keep this, and what do I want to put away? One of the Zeniths, because I'm just going to Zenith for Dryad Arbor on turn 1. So if I do that and I want to play Leovold on turn 2, I need to, so I have Underground Sea here. I need to fetch green for Zenith, and then Dryad Arbor is green, so I need to fetch Tundra. Alright, I have returned from class. How did Infect go? Do not play Infect. Tundra, Ponder. Well, that's a forest, but in order to play Leovold on turn 2, I need to get a different land, so let's go. Oh wait, I can't fetch Tundra because I have to Green Sun, so it has to be green, and it can't be Savannah because I have to tap for this, so it has to be Tropical Island. Yeah, and then I don't have white for Recruiter, but that's okay for now. Tropical, GSC for 0, grab Dryad Arbor, over to them. Brainstorm, Flooded Strand, fetch. I assume this is about to die. Yeah, Plains, March of Otherworldly Light. Exiling, what'd they exile to this? Oh no, they didn't exile anything, right, that makes sense. I doubt they play Days, so let's just Brainstorm. Alright, so I can Lorien Reveal to get rid of a bunch of lands I don't need, so let's get rid of probably just the basic lands. Then we'll play Underground Sea, pass, and then we need to go find Tundra, so we have white mana. Opponent fetches Volcanic, plays Teferi, pluses Teferi, yep. Alright, Cycle Lorien Revealed, let's go grab Tundra, and then I'll play Leovold so that if they want to bounce it, they have to give me a card. Ooh, another Leovold. Alright, Tundra, so blue, black, green, Leovold. Alright, they're forcing it, Exiling Shark Typhoon, Staff of the Storyteller, Polluted Delta. Alright, I'm just going to run out Leovold again. They drew a card with Teferi. Oh my gosh, can I... Okay, if they don't have a counterspell, I can drop Aluren and win the game. Alright, let's go for that. Aluren, do you have a counterspell? They do not. Cast Leovold. Containment Priest. Okay, but I am casting this, so that doesn't interfere. Cast Recruiter. Trigger, search, Niambi. Cast Niambi. Target here. Always yield. Opponent fetches in response. Alright, they've just conceded. Alright, 1-1 with Aluren, on to round 3. That is one of the cool things with the deck, which is that if you have Aluren and Recruiter, Recruiter just fetches all the other pieces and you win. On the draw in round 3, we again only have one land and then Brainstorm or Zenith, and if either of those fail, or rather, Island for Brainstorm, and if that fails, then we're dead. So, mull this. Alright, I guess this is better. I will keep and put back one of the fetch lands. What's the other land I'm fetching? It's white, at least. So, okay, put Misty back. Swamp. Thoughtseize. Alright. So probably Helm or Storm. It's always one of those two if it's a basic swamp. Takes Teferi. Alright. Snow and Delighted Halfling. Back to them. Bloodstained Mire. Fatal Push. Alright, maybe it's Dimir Tempo and they just had a basic swamp to start with. No, another swamp. Cycle Troll. Man, we're drawing nothing. Alright, I guess I'm gonna Zenith for another Halfling. Zenith for Halfling and go. Obviously I could wait, but the best thing to do would be like Zenith for Uro, and I'm not doing that for 2 turns. Could this be Reanimator? Evoke Grief. Haha! Joke's on you, I have 3 fetch lands. Would they exile? Orcish Bowmasters. Palantir of Orthanc. Have them draw a card. No. We took 2, they milled Shieldred's Edict. Alright, Ponder. We can Teferi bounce that. That seems fine. So, I don't want to draw the fetch land. So it's that, then Witness, then Teferi, no shuffle, and then I'm fetching probably Tundra. So fetch, yeah, Tundra, cast Teferi, bounce the Palantir, drew Force of Will. Alright, back to them. Replays Palantir. I will once again not have them draw a card. Hey, you know what's cool? Since this targets, if we have Leovold, it forces them to give us a card. So no draws. They milled Grief, we go to 13. All right, well, I can hold Force of Will up, I guess. Plus this. What am I fetching? Another green source, so Savannah or Bayou. I could put Yorion in my hand as well. That's probably better, actually. All right, put Yorion in my hand. Play this. Go to combat. Swing here. It still gives me the option of pitching Force if I have to. Another Palantir. All right, this is going to start getting real bad. Oh, do I counter this? The Yorion is really not doing very much for me right now. It's just resetting to Fairy. All right, let's counter it. So Palantir triggers. No draw. 2 lands. Vault and Caracas. So I don't want to draw any more lands, so let's fetch another white source. I don't know. I don't really need another white source. I can fetch one if I need to. All right, let's grab Trop. We're just continuing to draw absolute garbage, so all right. Land, halfling, go to combat, swing. You mill per 1, right? If that player doesn't, you mill X, where X is the number of counters. Yeah. All right, still no card draw. I don't think we'll take 11. We could, though. Actually, do I get to see where they scryed? They scryed 2 to the bottom. All right, so no. We exactly died. They milled Op Agent, Orcish Bowmaster, Troll. What were we going to draw? Yeah, we were not getting out of that game for a while. All right, so it's not Reanimator. It's like mono black. It's like the Dimir Tempo deck, but it's just mono black. All right, so I probably want to be able to interact with their stuff. I guess this for Palantir, this for exiling stuff out of the yard, Spell Pierce. So what's bad? Oof, Swords is fine. All the rest of this is kind of fine. If I have Leovold in play and they cast an Orcish Bowmasters, we die because they target us, which triggers us to draw, and then they just target us forever. All right, goodbye, Leovold. It's probably overdoing it. I probably don't need the Endurances. What are the worst 2 cards here? Codal seems kind of bad. It's not necessary for our combo either, so I can get rid of that. Oh, is it May draw a card? Oh, then they're actually good. Oh, man, I don't know what to cut then. Prismatic only kills... Well, it kills Palantir as well. I just ran out of time to think. I'm just cutting 3 Ponders. That's probably not correct, but... All right, we've got Aluren. Obviously, if they grief it, that's a problem, but we have Aluren and we have all the mana to get to it. All right, so Plains go. Swamp. Thoughtseize. Well, goodbye, Aluren. All right, cycle this. Let's grab Tropical Island. Oh, no, they took Swords? Huh, interesting. Yeah, Force of Will is a good draw. Trop and pass to them. Bloodstain Mire. Dothy Voidwalker. I don't actually need to counter that to win, but I should still probably counter it. Maybe not. I don't know. It's like really bad if they Thoughtseize this next turn. It means that the next time we force, they can force back, so I may as well. All right, let's counter it. All right, cycle. Let's grab Underground Sea. Yeah, let's grab Underground Sea. All right, it's either play Halfling or it's play Yorion, or get Yorion. Let's just get Yorion. Grab Yorion and back over to them. No, Thoughtseize. I assume now Aluren's getting taken. Yep, there goes Aluren. Urza's Saga. All right, Recruiter. So they have Opposition Agent in their deck, so I should be fetching like earlier. Let's grab another Forest, and then let's Recruiter. The best thing to grab is probably... No, I can't grab Uro. I don't know. I could grab Knight of Autumn and then blow up this Urza's Saga. Or I could grab Ewit and then Ewit the Aluren back to my hand. All right, let's grab Ewit. Then play Halfling, and over to them. In turn, push the Halfling. All right. Saga goes to 2. I'm not too worried about the Urza Saga beatdown. I think I can beat that. Caracas. Wait, what? Evoke Grief. Not even hard casting it. Exiling Dothy Voidwalker. Getting rid of Ewit. Fatal Push Recruiter. And then still have Saga token activations ready to go. All right. Well, I can't do anything else. I guess well, no, even if I play Yorion, they just Caracas it back to our hand, right? I guess that prevents... They either do that... I have nothing better to do. Land or Yorion. All right, makes a Construct. So now we're both basically in top deck wars, except they have a Caracas to bounce our Yorion, and they have presumably 2 Constructs and are getting whatever else they're getting off of this. What are they getting off of this? Graveyard Hate to get rid of Aluren? Or... Yeah, Soul Guide Lantern. Eats the Aluren. Bounces Yorion to our hand. Plays another Urza's. Well, meanwhile, we continue to draw trash, so I guess let's keep making them pay the Yorion tax. So let's see, I'm taking 8 next turn. So whether I fetch now or not, it doesn't matter. All right, Caracas it back. Makes another Construct. We take 8, go to 6. And then I don't know what I can even draw to get me out of this. Not Uro, because they can just eat our graveyard. All right, Brainstorm. Aluren, Swords. Even if I Swords one of them, it doesn't matter. I still take lethal. Yeah, all right, we're dead. Well, we just drew absolute trash while our opponent drew everything they needed to beat us, so that's how it goes. I feel like the only actual decision point in that game was, do I force Dothy or not? And if I didn't force it, they would have just Thoughtseized next turn, which would have then had them take the Force of Will and then just have a Dothy in play. So it is what it is. On the draw for round 4. All right, this is fine. Keep this. Opponent has a Gigantha. I can safely say this is the first time I'm seeing Gigantha in Legacy. Badlands. And Thoughtseize. Takes Delighted Halfling. All right. We drew a land, so let's just, I don't know. Trop go. Plateau. And pass. Or no? Bowmasters. Sure. I guess we're gonna Prismatic that. Fetch. Grabbing Savannah. Prismatic your Bowmasters. And back to them. Taiga. All right, no clue what this is. Wild Nacatl. 17. All right, well, Vista, fetch. I don't know, let's grab an island. Put Yorion in my hand. Back over to them. So 4 from here, we go to 12. And they did not do anything. I guess I just slam Aluren and then try to go off next turn. Play Aluren and pass to them. Opponent flashes out Territorial Kavu. So it's Zoo and Legacy? Okay. Leyline Binding. You gotta be kidding. All right. Yeah, Zoo and Legacy, literally. All right, cast Cavern Harpy. Oh, is this mandatory, so it has to bounce itself? Oh, all right. Well, so we're taking minimum. All right, are we just dead then? 4, 7, 8. Any other land, is this killing us? Or any burn spell, is this killing us? Discards Draco. So it's Zoo and Legacy. Wild Nacatl. Well, since Aluren is gone, I don't know how I can possibly not lose here. Ponder. None of that does it. I basically have to find Teferi and bounce this, right? So shuffle. There's another Aluren, but I still can't actually win with that. So Brainstorm. Well, we're dead. All right, Zoo. Night of Autumn to eat Leyline. Toxic Deluge to kill all their guys. Yeah, Oof is useless. I'm not sure what else goes here. Force of Will's probably not that great in this matchup. They don't have like one key thing that we have to counter. Draw spells are not great against the Bowmaster deck, of course, as always. Now let's just take 2 forces. And I don't think I want Endurance, so that's that. All right, submit. Our only lands are basic islands, of course. 80 card deck, 2 basic islands. All right, well, this is so bad as well, because we have to Vista for Zenith for 1, and then we only have Underground Sea, and we can't do anything else unless I cast Ponder. All right, so I have to Ponder and do... I guess what? I'm pondering on turn 1, and then turn 2, probably Zenith for Halfling. All right, so let's get rid of... I'm going to go with Recruiter. All right, Underground Sea, Ponder. No lands, eh? Although it's 2 removal spells and Aluren, so... We're not drawing lands for a whole bunch of turns. I guess I'm Zenithing next turn unless they Thoughtseize me. Although I'm also fetching with Vista. So let's do this, this, this. No shuffle. Over to them. Opponent casts Once Upon a Time, gets Windswept Heath. Taiga. Nacatl. All right. I'm not swordsing that. I'm going to just go grab a Halfling. Fetch. Forest. Zenith. Grab Halfling. Back over to them. Scrub land. Attack. No blocks. Go to 16. They did nothing either, right? All right. So fetch. So I want to go to Fairy and then have Swords to Plowshares up. So I need to fetch a white land. And I also want a second green source for Aluren. So I need Savannah. So to Fairy... This one, this one, this one. They're going to flash in Bowmasters in response. Reprieve. Bounce it to our hand. What? Okay. Back over to them. Well, I guess I'm going to Swords this. Swords your Nacatl. Bolt our Halfling. Okay. Plays another land. Ooh, Uro. So the problem, of course, is that if they flash Bowmasters in here, then that makes Teferi, like, not very good. Although, if I have Aluren, I can just do Uro next turn anyway. So, alright, let's just play Teferi. Teferi. Opponent fetches. Are you going to Reprieve me again? Or Bowmaster, I guess. Either one. Savannah. Another Reprieve, of course. Legacy All-Star, Remand. Opponent fetches. Plateau. Invasion of Gobakon. Takes Teferi. Territorial Kavu. Alright. I guess I'm deluging for 4 to kill this. Toxic Deluge. Pay 4. Keeps them from flipping this at least. The only other option is like Uro. But then they just flip this and still have a creature. Once Upon a Time. Grabs Wild Nacatl. Once Upon a Time again, grabs Orcish Bowmasters. So if I play Aluren here, they also get to flash in their stuff. That's the problem. Yeah. So if I go Aluren, then they just go Bowmasters Nacatl plus anything else they might have. The only thing I can put into play is Knight of Autumn, which is a 4/3, but that's still... Also, if I flash an Uro, then it triggers the Bowmasters. So maybe I should just play Uro. All right, so Uro, this one, and then I should leave green open if I want to Zenith, blue open if I want to cast Brainstorm. Depends on what I hit. All right, Uro, trigger, draw Lorien revealed, and then Uro dies, and then we just pass back to the opponent. I can unearth Uro next turn, or escape it rather. I think against their deck, I just... Surgical Extraction. What? All right, they brought in Surgical Extraction. Literally, Uro and Eternal Witness are the only cards in my 80-card deck that care about graveyards, and they brought in Surgical Extraction. Sure. Bowmasters, which makes Lorien revealed really bad. Nacatl. Another Nacatl. All right. Cycle. I guess Tundra. I don't know. Tundra. All right, let me think. Teferi costs all my mana. Then I bounce, I don't know, Bowmaster. Like, if I bounce anything but Bowmasters, then Teferi dies. If I bounce Nacatl, who cares? So I guess I'm what? I'm playing Aluren and then trying to ambush something, maybe, with Knight of Autumn? I have no idea. I can't think of anything else to do. All right, let's play Aluren. Then over to them. It at least forces them to put multiple attackers on the invasion. All right, where are they going? These three at me, this one at invasion. All right, so cast Knight, trigger, get 2 counters, Leyline Binding, gets rid of Aluren. Okay. Oh my god, do they also have Bowmasters or something? You've got to be kidding me. Yeah, we go to 7. This fling flips over. Awesome. All right, we drew a land. Fantastic. All right, I guess I'm spending all of my mana to cast a fairy, bounce Leyline Binding, and hopefully we win. Bounce Leyline Binding. What do we draw? We drew Prismatic. We're dead. What was that? So literally Modern Zoo, except they have dual lands. All right, well, we're on the play. Okay, sure. Yeah, that's fine. All right, Forest, Halfling, pass to them. What are we playing against? In the 1/3 bracket, Urza's Saga, Chromatic Star. Okay. So if I Zenith for 2, I'm just Zenithing for... Oh, I guess I can get Collector Oof. Yeah, all right. What am I fetching? Tundra, fetch, Tundra, Zenith, X is 2, go grab Oof, and back to them. Saga on 2. Ancient Tomb. All right. Bowmasters. All right, so land, fetch. We need to get black, so Underground Sea. If I attack them and they make a construct, they can trade with Oof. I'm assuming since they're a deck that's playing Chromatic Star, it's probably better that I keep Oof alive. Can I can actually Bowmaster plus Niambi, so I can kill it. All right, so I can go Bowmaster. They go make a construct, then on upkeep, I assume they'll make another construct. So yeah, make a construct, trigger, make another construct. All right, Bowmasters. Oh wait, no, I can't kill it. What am I talking about? All right, well, target you. I'm gonna do this anyway, so. All right, 3/3 construct. What do they fetch? Soul Guide Lantern targeting one of my lands, sure. Swamp. Mox Opal that they can't activate, but it makes the constructs bigger. Dark Ritual. Scrap Trawler. I'm going to assume that I should counter that. Although actually, they can't actually activate any of their artifacts right now, so maybe not. All right, well, in that case, yeah, sure, Scrap Trawler's fine. Swing, block with Bowmasters, cast Niambi, bounce Bowmasters. What's the life you gain? Equal to the mana value. Okay. Then over to us, to Fairy. All right, so white, blue, this one. No, I should leave black open. So blue, white, this one, to Fairy. Bounce a token. Drew Zenith. I still think it's correct to hold on to Lorien revealed, so we'll just pass. Ichor Wellspring. Sure. Vault of Whispers, which they also can't activate. Dark Ritual. Another Scrap Trawler. Sure. Where are they swinging? Both at me. All right, block. Chump here, and I don't strictly speaking need Niambi for my combo, but it helps. So I think I can afford to take 3. So let's just block there. Another Force of Will. All right, plus to Fairy. So I can GSZ for Uro. So GSZ for Uro. If I hit a land, I put it into play. Yeah, all right, so just pass to them. Swing everything at me. This is 14, and then I'm at 3 life. Yeah, that's fine. All right, I'm at 3. All right, end of turn GSZ for X is 3. Get Uro, trigger. We drew, we didn't hit a land, so... All right, back to me. I can still chump them with, like, Bowmasters and whatnot. All right, there's another land, so... Plus to Fairy, fetch. I do need another green source for Aluren when I eventually get to it, so I need to fetch a Forest. We are multiple cards away from getting Uro. Let's see, there's 0 chance that I block with Oof, so I should attack with Oof. I can't just cast Lorien revealed here because then I'm taking too much damage, so I should... Brainstorm. All right, there's Aluren. So I can't win yet, though. What am I putting back? I'm going to play Aluren, and then I'm going to have Bowmasters able to go off. So I want to keep Force. I want to keep... I don't need both Forces. So let's put that back and Prismatic. Then play Aluren. Swing here. All right, combat. Everything's at me. All right, so flash out Bowmasters. Trigger. I want to keep Bowmasters alive. I guess I know I have to block 2, right? So I can also block with Neombi. I can also get enough stuff into my graveyard so that I can escape Uro. Yeah, so let's shoot them and then go to blocks. So this here. I probably just want to escape Uro next turn, actually. So let's just make sure that I can do that. And then I don't need the Orc Army token either, so let's just block. All right. Urza Saga. Iker Wellspring. Well, I should have obviously just killed this other Scrap Trawler. So I can't escape at instant speed. So do this. Blue, blue, or green, green, blue, blue. Get rid of the other cards. Then trigger. And then I probably just need to bounce this Karnstruct, right? So bounce the Karnstruct. Another Teferi. All right. Go to combat. Swing here and here. Saga goes up to 2. Chromatic Star. All right, so I can cast Lorien Revealed and draw a bunch of cards, and then potentially just go off, right? So cast, blue, blue, Lorien Revealed. Wow, we haven't hit any creatures out of all of that. That's insane. All right, play this. Do I have a white land I can fetch? Yeah, I can fetch Savannah. So fetch, grab Savannah. Let's swords this, and then we can just kill them. Or actually, no, we can't, right? This can still make a Karnstruct. So if I attack them, they have to use Ancient Tomb to activate this. So they can afford to block Collect Roof. So let's just attack with Uro. Trigger. Yeah, make a Karnstruct. Still apparently can't find... Yeah, that's fine. So block. How the hell have we not found either another land or creature or like anything to get off of Uro? Just crazy. We actually have to go to cleanup here. It's insane. All right, I don't even know. Prismatic and... Yeah, this is Prismatic, sure. I'm actually going to be forced to block with Collect Roof, right? This becomes a 9/9, and then they go fetch another artifact, and it's a 10/10. Eat Uro out of our graveyard via Soul Guide Lantern, and then we have to chump block. All right, block. How? How have we not found another creature? Sack Chromatic Star. Sack Chromatic Star. Sack Soul Guide Lantern to draw. Another Chromatic Star. Sack the star. Draw. Plays Pyrite Spellbomb. I'd probably have to counter that so that they can't interact with combos. All right, so force this and exile the other force. Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal. All right, back to us. There's Cavern Harpy. So let's ponder. Yeah. What can we green sun for here? Eternal Witness, which doesn't matter because they can activate Soul Guide Lantern. So we can Zenith for Ice Fang to draw a card. And then we can Cavern to keep, and then we can Cavern Harpy to keep drawing. It costs me 3 to use Zenith. So we can ponder first. All right, well, we're going to shuffle that. We get to draw a lot, so it's probably worth it to Zenith. Zenith for 2. Go grab Codal. Trigger. All right, there we go, finally. Our Bowmaster is gone, so we can't actually win here, but we can set up a huge board. So cast Recruiter, use the ability, grabbing another Recruiter, then Recruiter, grab Recruiter, cast Recruiter, Recruiter. Last one is Witness. All right, Cavern Harpy. Trigger, bounce Codal, cast Codal, draw. All right, bounce this, cast it again, bounce this, cast Codal. I can swords both of these, so I don't think there's any way I can actually win on the spot now that Bowmasters is gone, right? So I would really like to get another land so I can play Teferi and bounce one of these. All right. Bounce, cast, bounce Codal, cast Codal, trigger. Well, never mind. All right, so let's cast this. I guess let's just pass to them. What's the name of the deck? Aluren, based around this enchantment. Karn, the Great Creator. Oy. Yeah, all right, sure. Swing, go to blocks, block here, and then before damage, bounce this to my hand, and then cast it again, and bounce Codal. All right. No damage. Karn, minus. We can just kill them on the board with our creatures. Ensnaring Bridge. Mox Opal. Dark Ritual. Alright, so we gotta respond to this. So, cast Codal. Trigger. Draw. Brainstorm. Actually, no, I can just Teferi it back, right? Yeah. Never mind, I don't have to. So yeah, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. Blue. White. Teferi. Bounce the bridge. Go to combat. Everything at them. All right, so that was game 1. Let's see, Night of Autumn. What else? That's kind of it, right? Just that. I don't think they really target me unless they have Pyrite Spell Bomb loops, but no, they have a lot of extra draw spells, right? Between Ichor Wellspring and Chromatic Star and whatnot, so Leovold is good. They use their graveyard to some degree, but not like a ton. So maybe I want like 1 Endurance. What's bad? Swords, kind of. Yeah, just like a Swords. All right, that seems fine. Let's run this. 1 land only, but with Lorien revealed into a Collector Oof seems decent, and I have Force of Will as well. So I can go turn 1, fetch Lorien, turn 2, Oof. All right, this is fine. Ancient Tomb, Wellspring, that's fine. All right, Windswept Heath, back over to them. Saga, that's pretty bad for me. Scrap Trawler. I'm just thinking about how much time do I have to actually find blockers. Probably not a lot. Yeah, I guess it's fine. Yeah, it resolves. All right, fetch. I need as much double green and blue as possible, so... But I probably also need white. So what if I Bayou and then go for Tundra? That seems fine. All right, so Bayou, then Island Cycle, grab Tundra. So there's all my colors. Right, Tundra, Collector Oof. Then hold up Force of Will. Of course, we do have to beat Saga, which is a problem. Bayou, no blocks. Chromatic Star. So this Oof is just never attacking or blocking. Land... So 2 huge Constructs are coming out. If I cast Uro right now, they just go Soul Guide Lantern and get rid of it. What can I even Zenith for, though? Ice Fang Codal? Or I can just Zenith for Dryad Arbor. Yeah, all right. So let's Zenith for 0. Grab Dryad. Then Brainstorm. All right. I don't need 2 Allurens. So let's put 1 back. And then I probably don't want the second Force of Will. So we can put that back. And then over to them. All right. Construct. Urza Saga goes to 3. I actually should fetch in response, right? It's to play around Needle. Yeah, all right, so fetch. Let's get Tropical Island. Then that resolves. Let's see, they could grab Haywire Might, because Haywire Might, yeah. So Haywire Might gets rid of Aluren. Soul Guide Lantern. Oh no, but they can't even activate Haywire Might, so yeah, it's irrelevant. So Soul Guide, and now they have a huge 8/8 and a 3/2. All right, no blocks. We go to 4. Pretty bad. All right, end of turn Brainstorm. Double Leovold's irrelevant, so let's put a Leovold back, and let's put back, I don't know, this. How do I not lose here? I go Aluren, Leovold, Uro. Leovold has to chump block. I go to 7, and then the Collect Roof also has to block. Teferi, bounce a Construct token. Then I have to chump it with Dryad Arbor, right? All right, let's Ponder, I guess. Knight of Autumn. All right, so Knight of Autumn kills 1, blocks the other one. No shuffle. White, green, this one. Destroy this, and then pass to them. And then this blocks here, and we go to 1, which means we can't Force a Will anymore. Swamp. All right, chump block here, go to 1. We're also super low on the clock, too, so there's that. Karn. What are they Karning for? Pithing Needle. Needling. Cavern Harpy. All right. Probably have to play Aluren right now, and then let's attack Karn, I guess. Or I just 3-fairy this, but then I still have to trade with Scrap Trawler. All right, so Aluren, let's cast this. All right, that dies. Then let's go to combat, attack Karn, chump with the Haywire Might, sure. We do have to chump block with Leovold, unfortunately. All right, swing, cast Leovold, block the Construct, and then we're at 1. Assassin's Trophy targeting Collector Oof. Apparently I should have flashed this out earlier. Yeah, use the ability, grab one of these. So now that can use Soul Guide to make it so that I don't get Uro back. All right, let's flash out Leovold so they can't draw. I think even if I manage to crawl my way out of this game, I'm still going to lose to the clock. Grab Soul Guide Lantern, Soul Guides, the Uro, Endurance. All right, so 3-fairy, bounce the Construct, go to combat, kill Karn, and let's Ponder. All right, this, no shuffle, go to them. End of turn. Leovold stops all extra draws, I believe. Or no, it's only once per turn. Okay. So I should have Bowmastered there. I'm kind of nerve-wracked right now because of how little time I have left. Swing. All right, ambush it with the Endurance. Target them. Block Lotus Petal. Kark Clan Ironworks. Okay. Flash out Bowmasters. Target them. All right, they have conceded. So, only 2/3 with Aluren. I don't know to what degree to attribute that to the deck itself or the fact that it's playing Yorion. Playing Yorion felt pretty bad here. Like, you're a combo deck that wants to specifically assemble Aluren plus very specific 1 cards, like, you know, 1 of Silver Bullet cards in the deck, and yet we're playing an 80-card Yorion deck. So whenever you have combo decks like this, I never feel good to have Yorion in the deck, so I don't know exactly what to feel about that. if you were not to play Yorion, what would you cut? You'd probably cut 4 lands, and then you wouldn't need like extra copies of things. So you'd only need like 1 Uro, 1 Leovold. So you could cut 2 of those. You probably wouldn't need as much removal. So you could like go down to just Swords to Plowshares. So it would be, let's see, in order to get this down to 60, it would be these, then just like 4 lands, not these specific 4, but 4 lands in the deck. And you'd have to cut quite a lot of other things, but I think you could do it. Also, Zenith felt pretty bad in this deck. Obviously, it was good in the matchups where we could Zenith for Collector Oof, but outside of that, it doesn't feel great because you never really want to Zenith for like Delighted Halfling or Codal, and then you don't want to pay 4 to Zenith for Leovold or Uro. So it's very possible that the deck just shouldn't be a Zenith deck. And it's a problem that the Zenith doesn't actually help you to combo except for the times when you already have Cavern Harpy and then you're going to fetch Codal or Uro to just, you know, swap them back and forth. Because outside of those times, grabbing like an Uro for 4 mana or an Ice Fang for 3 mana doesn't feel very good. I feel like Yorion is only good for... Basically, I just never like Yorion in combo decks. It feels like, you know, so the decks that play Yorion in Legacy are typically D&T and then like control decks of some variety, where it makes sense because you're just playing a bunch of generically good like value cards, D&T aside, because D&T does want to get certain cards like Thalia or Aether Vial more than others, but D&T also plays a bunch of value stuff as well. In here, it felt really bad. But yeah, and we had lots of games where we just like flooded and just drew nothing turn after turn after turn. So if you decide to play Aluren, probably just don't run Yorion.